Hey Ben, this is Amelia with Centrix Automation. You just responded to my email about possibly improving your lead generation with AI, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Great, I'm glad you took the time to respond. So, tell me, what caught your attention about using AI for your cold emailing? Are you looking to save time, get better response rates, or maybe a mix of both?
A mix of both for sure.
Absolutely, Ben, that makes sense. Everyone's looking for ways to get the most results without spending endless hours running campaigns, right? We've actually seen some amazing things with our platform, helping businesses not only save time, but really hit those higher response rates efficiently. It might be helpful to have a quick chat with our CEO, who can walk you through how we customize the system to your goals. Would you be open to booking a meeting to explore how this might align with what you're looking for?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wonderful. Do you have a preferred date and time for the meeting? Feel free to choose what's best for you, and I'll get things set up.
Can you do Tuesday the 18th of March at 10 a.m?
Just to confirm, you're looking at Tuesday, March 18th, 10 a.m. That's perfect. I'll get that text for availability and book it for you. One moment. Let me just check his calendar. Bear with me. Your meeting is all set for Tuesday, March 18th, 10 a.m. with our CEO. Ben, I am super excited for you to see how our AI-powered cold emailing automation can benefit your lead generation process. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. If you have any questions before the meeting, feel free to reach out. Thanks, Ben, and see you soon. Goodbye.
Thanks, bye. And there you go. So the prospect has just responded to an email. Seconds later, showing some sort of positive interest, and seconds later, they're getting a call, booking a meeting in. So there's no faffing, no time wasting. Their interest was piqued when they got the email, which is why they responded positively. And we capitalized on that piqued interest to book a meeting when they're at their highest form of interest. So if you want to learn how to build something like this, stick around and we'll get straight into it. So this was done on a platform that I'm sure you've heard of called Vappy. And what Vappy does, it allows you to use prompts to create a full-blown AI voice calling agent. Now, what normally happens is once you've signed in, you'll be on the overview page, which shows you how many minutes, how many calls, how much you spent, the average per call, and other call analysis features. Then you go into the assistants, which is where you can create an assistant. You got workflows, you can create phone numbers from here, or you can go on Twilio, which I've done, and purchase them. You got tools. Before it was known as functions, which I'll show you how to set up as well. Files where you can upload your knowledge base. Squads, so they can transfer calls in between different AI callers, AI agents. Your API keys, call logs, everything like that. That's not entirely helpful. So this is the prompt I used for that voice caller. I do, hey, variable name. This is Amelia. You just responded to my email about possibly improving your lead generation with AI, right? So what happens is how this works. A interested reply comes in through instantly. We'll then extract the details. This is my database to see whether they've been contacted or rang before. If the email contains a signature with a phone number, it will choose this path. If there's no phone number, it will choose this path, draft a reply, and then send the reply via Instantly Unibox. If it does have a phone number and passes the database check, so they haven't been rang before, it will send them a text. Now I have 4 aliases. I've got Amelia, Isabella, Jack, and me. So if it's Amelia, it will take this route and call the prospect. If it's Isabella, it will take this route, Jack, this route, me, this route. And the funny thing is that I could actually clone my own voice in 11 Labs and have myself ringing people autonomously. Same with Jack. I could just create a caller called Jack, Isabella, Amelia, and I'd just copy the same prompts and just change the person's name. So, hi, this is Jack. Hi, this is Amelia, and change the 11 Labs voice, which we'll get into. And then we call the prospect. And this just happens with every single lead that replies positively. After the phone call, or at least during the phone call, it calls a webhook to give it the data from, or calls the function, I should say, of fetching the slots. It will give me a date range in the next 3 days, find available slots in my calendar using cal.com, change the available slots into more of a readable format. If there is a slot, it will go true and it will book the meeting. If it's false, it will give available slots, and the voice agent will say to the prospect, that time's not available, but we have these times available if that suits. And then this is the end of call report, where when the call gets ended, that's when it actually gets added into the calendar. So it will categorize the call outcome into either a voicemail, an incomplete call, a callback request, so they've just asked for a callback at a later time because they're too busy, or a new meeting where it goes and creates the meeting and sends a nice follow-up email just mentioning what was discussed before. I'll get into everything, but we'll start with the prompt. So we end up passing the name from here. So this gives us a load of information, obviously, that instantly have given us about the lead, and we pass it through the call. So we're passing the variables. So Amelia, the caller, the AI agent, knows everything about these people in terms of their email, their name, the company name, stuff like that. So it's not going in completely blind. It's still nice and personalized. It will say, this is Amelia with Centrix. You just responded to my email about possibly improving your lead gen with AI. Is that right? Now, this isn't perfect. There's still some work to be done, but I actually built this in about 20 minutes, which I should have shown you. Obviously not the back end, but Vappy was built really quickly. You can just write quite a long assistant prompt, maybe with ChatGPT, press this and say, optimize for Vappy. And it will do that for you. Change it how you want it into this sort of format. So I've given her an identity. I've said, you are Amelia, a conversational outbound sales development agent with my company. Your primary role is to engage prospects interested in AI-powered cold emailing automation to qualify their needs and schedule meetings. Now, I've put this because my latest campaign is going to be solely focused on AI powered cold emailing, because as I've shown you before on LinkedIn, you can actually do a search intent to to search people that have actually been searching for that kind of marketing automation before. So this is why I'm going to be ringing. I already know which campaign these people are replying to, which campaign I'm sending out, and have related that back to Amelia, the voice agent. Operate as a helpful and knowledgeable assistant, ensuring an effortless human-like interaction. The current date is now, and this is just a sort of date format to show what the date is today. And Europe, London. The style, use a warm, professional, conversational tone with a polite and friendly demeanor in American spelling. Incorporate emotional expression to convey confusion, skepticism, excitement, or enthusiasm. We might not need that, because when I first did it, I actually put quite a few questions in. But when you think about it, these people aren't going to be wanting to have a whole emotional, deep conversation about their problems and issues with a bot. The main aim of these voice calling bots is just to get the meeting booked in. There's so many other use cases for these sort of bots, but for this, it's not a cold calling, a sort of warm lead calling, and it's making them even warmer as well. Because if you can think about it, I'm selling AI services, and there's suddenly an AI bot are ringing these people. They're going to be quite impressed and think I've got an impressive amount of skills. So it's just real-time social proof, if you like. Engage prospects with dialogue and questioning, making them feel emotionally invested and part of the process. The main aim is to book a meeting. Ask them if they're happy to book a meeting to learn more about our systems. Listen actively and maintain a conversational style as if speaking with a friend in a casual setting. Don't want it to be too formal. Ask if they're interested in speaking with the CEO to find more about how the systems can help them. Maintain consultative, not boiler room sales. Maintain a consultative approach. We're not trying to, shove a service down the throat here. It would help them a lot to see the system and understand the results it can get them. If a prospect becomes impatient, off to book a meeting, so this is any error handling or fallback. Use fetch slots to check availability when scheduling meeting. I'll show you how that looks. Allow the prospect to take their time, providing prompts like, take your time, I'm here for you. And then this is the book a meeting. So request and wait for their preferred time and date. So that's the first thing to do. Get their preferred time and date. Then use the fetch slots function upon mutual agreement to book a meeting, and use the dynamic variables that I give it to confirm the user's email and name, ensuring accurate records. Don't ask them for their email. You already have it. Just use the email from the dynamic variables, first name and email. That seems to contradict itself quite a lot. To confirm variable's name, we'll do this. Don't ask for their email. We'll just get rid of that. Include critical information like first name and email, and use the year 2025 when booking. After the meeting has been booked, end the call politely and quickly. Don't ramble, stick to the point, be polite, ask questions one at a time. Don't ask two in the same sentence. It seems to do that. It seems to go, what are you doing now for lead generation? And would it help if we did it? No, just ask one question, one at a time, 2 questions max. I say 3 questions at a push. You don't want to be asking any more than that. They don't want to be having a conversation with AI. This is literally just to book them a meeting. Once a meeting date and time has been decided, you can then end the call politely. So that's the prompt. I use OpenAI ChatGPT 4o. An alternative that could be quite good is Claude 3.5 or Sonnet, 3.7 Sonnet or 3.5 Haiku, if that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. I haven't really tried many others. Grok might be a good one. I don't know if many people have tried that, but you've got Perplexity, DeepSeek in here somewhere, yeah. But you get the gist. I'd just probably go with 4o cluster. You can put a knowledge base in. You can literally just, if ChatGPT knows a lot about your business, you can just ask it to produce a knowledge base, a quite detailed one. This will need updating. I was building on Vappy months ago, last year, and this was uploaded somehow. The temperature I've put at 1. It depends. The higher temperature, the more it's going to sort of maybe go a bit off track. It might come out with some funny stuff. It might be a bit more conversational. You want to find a perfect balance. I'd say 0.7 to 1.2, something like that would probably be good. You could put detect emotion on, so it can understand if someone's getting angry, and in which case, if they're becoming impatient, you can book a call off to book the meeting and just leave it there. So I've switched that on. You then got transcriber. I'd keep all that the same. Voice. Now you want to go over to 11 Labs and have a play around with their voices and see which one suits you. Because I'm based in the UK, I don't want to have any American or anything like that calling my prospects. They could find it annoying. They prefer to hear a homegrown voice in native tongue for sure. So you go to voices, and you can just search through this, and perfect for an AI agent. Anna's a young British female, and just play through, see which one you like. Press use. Maybe not. Let's work this out together. Press view maybe on Archer. It should give you a code essentially. How did I do it before? I was literally on this not long ago. See out here you can clone your voice, which is pretty funny. Go to the library. Here we go. Then you can say English, accent, British, if you're English, obviously. And here you get a load of them. You've even got Amelia here. So what you do, you click.
I'm Amelia, a super high quality English voice. I love to read, seriously.
I'm guessing that would probably echo actually, so I'm sorry about that. But there we go. So it's down here. You can't see it because my head's in the way, and there's nothing I can do about that. But basically down here behind me is a button called ID, and you'd copy that, go back into Vappy, add voice ID manually, and you just paste it in there. Cool. Publish. You can also change a lot of things here. You can make it a lot quicker. There's a few options here for you. Anyway, you can use back channeling. So make the bot say words like yeah, etc. while listening to make the conversation sound natural. So that sounds pretty cool. So I'll flick that on and I'll leave everything the same. Right, now functions. So I have one called fetch slots. It's now called tools. So if you go into here, you'd create a tool. This might look a bit different. This is to people nowadays. You put in the name, the description. I've put in the server URL where I want it to go. So for example, I created a webhook, copied the address to clipboard, pasted it in there. And then if you go into the code, you'll have to probably just copy and paste this. So I've added some properties here. Okay, just have a look at that. It's the email with a description and type, the first name, description and type, booking time, description and type. You want to create these variables for yourself. That can be done just by adding the bottom here. If you look at this, messages, let me just check his calendar, bear with me. And essentially all those would get sent to the webhook to make it a lot easier for make.com to figure out whether my calendar is free or not. Now let's take a look at this. So for the system prompt, I've asked it to give me a date and time of 72 hours within the specified date. So it's going to give me dates 3 days later, basically. And I've given it the start date. From there, we use calendar.com. This is the input here to basically get my availability. Then we ask AI to determine whether the date is actually available. So I've dynamically input that. This from the find available slots module, told it to output true if there's a time and date available, but false if it's not, and only output true or false. From there, if it's false, it will go up here. True, it will go up here. If it's false, we'll ask it to find new times, or at least times that are available, and the webhook response, it will mention a few times that are. It will say, sorry, that's not available, but here's a few times that are, if that suits you better. And at least then it has all the details for when it wants to book it. The guy says, okay, actually I can't do those dates, but what if you do X date? And it'll say, okay, yes, we can do that date. It has the times and available there. So screenshot that, get it all in. And then in the webhook response, we give it the tool call ID and the result. That time is unfortunately unavailable, but there is an open slot for result. Would you like to schedule that time? And in the webhook response, we give it the tool call ID again and the result. So essentially the booking time, the time that's been booked. So you would have seen at the start that it was coming from this number here, which I bought from Twilio. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was probably pennies. And it was pretty easy just to import. You just you go on Twilio, it'll give you a few tokens that you just easily import it in here. It'll also give you an ID for the token, for the phone number. Put it in here, and that is your inbound. And you can also put it as your outbound setting as your phone number. Then in here, this is where it actually categorizes and books the meeting. So it'll watch for the end of call report, which is a native module within make.com, which is pretty cool. It'll watch for that, categorize the call outcome. So it'll either say it was a voicemail, a tech or incomplete call, a tech issue or incomplete call, a callback request, or a new meeting. And the output of that, it'll go up this branch. So if it's a new meeting, it'll get all the appointment details, create the event, and create and send a message at the end. So we'll see how this looks. Hi, name. Hope that call with my robotic assistant went well. Look forward to meeting you. If there are any questions, no question too big or small, don't hesitate to reach out. This one will use the automation that was requested as the subject. We've got the start date, the end date from the extract appointment details, and we've got their name, X, me, the automation requested, and the conversation notes will get put in there as well, which we have created from in here. So if I just show you this prompt, So I've told it to analyze the transcript and come out with certain things: the start date, the full name, the service requested, the conversation that was noted, the caller's email, and the end date. And it outputs all this if you want to have a look at that. But basically, we are asking it to categorize the service based on key phrases or context clues. So it could be if they mentioned a cold emailing system, the proposal generator, chatbots, voice calling agent, all the stuff I sort of do. But really, again, I made this a few months ago, so I'd probably take all that out just because, or actually I might leave it in and just let the AI decide what the type of call was. But the only reason being is because actually the voice agent is calling someone off the basis of what they've replied to. I could do a campaign for conversational AI, in which case I would change the prompt in Vappy to make sure that they were, because otherwise it would be mentioning a cold emailing system, whereas I want it to be mentioning conversational AI. And what better campaign to do than a campaign about conversational AI and then having a phone call from someone who's interested from an actual bot. And that's why you need to make it absolutely perfect, because that is just social proof. They literally will, I haven't even spoken to them yet, and they'll want to buy straight away just from hearing the person on the voice agent that they've responded some interest to. And then that's just cloned all the way down here. This is my database just to make sure that they haven't already been emailed. And I'll just email saying, glad to hear you're interested in incorporating AI, because obviously they've replied interestingly to the email originally. I believe my automated assistant has just left you a voicemail. She'll try again shortly, as long as it's at a reasonable time. I'm sure we'll be able to catch up at another time if she can't reach you. And that is essentially it. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I've got to go over, but that's pretty much it. I mean, Vappy is an incredible tool and makes it so easy for you to actually create these kind of agents. At some point, I'll be showing you how to actually create cold calling agents, because if you could scrape for free from Apollo a load of phone numbers, or scrape from somewhere, or get a Google Maps scraper or something, and you could scrape a load of local businesses and then have AI ring it for you autonomously every day. Imagine having that part of the business while you're also cold emailing, doing your marketing, your YouTube, whatever it is, to get yourself out there. You're doing that side of the business while all autonomously, completely automatically, AI is just ringing people, cold calling, getting your leads. I mean, one people businesses are just the future. It's making it, these sort of tools are making it incredibly easy, and it's great to see. If you have any questions, want me to do a deeper rundown, I'll definitely do it. So let me know in the comments. But if you liked it, give it a like. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.